Hi guys, in this video we're going to show you how my friends and I built a robotic arm. It can replicate the movements you want by controlling two joysticks, and it has 3 grades of freedom and 3 operating modes, one manual, one automatic, and one super party mode. This project is inspired by an instructable, which is also inspired by another that I'll link in the description box below. We decided to make some changes like the screen and the way you pass through the modes, and of course the coding part. He used a touchscreen, but we're gonna change it into an LCD screen and 4 buttons just because we wanted to do some modifications and we honestly already had the screen. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the process. First, let's do some shopping. We're going to use an Arduino Mega as it has a huge number of pins, which we quite needed because of the screen and all the stuff we're about to show you. As we've said, we already had the LCD screen, but we needed a bunch of buttons we ended up buying on eBay. Also had the joysticks and some drilled PCB, and of course we bought the same servo motors he used to make it easier. Then we started printing all the pieces required and wait till we received all the materials. So, what about the buttons? We used 4 of them to make it look like a console and decided to weld them into a PCB. We searched for how they should be connected and planted before we catch the welder. Then place all the items into the PCB and get started. And there we have the final result of our buttons model. Quite a good result if you ask me. Before building the arm, we designed a case where everything will be located after and tried to make it look, as we said, as a console with the screen in the middle and the joystick to the sides. It is designed to have the screen and the buttons on the top and the 2 joysticks attached to the bottom. Let's move on to the exciting part, building the arm. I have to say we struggled the most with this part because the pieces seem to not fit into each other. If you want to recreate the project, please take my advice so you won't be sanding pieces for days like we did. Before printing the parts, make sure you know not all the printers print the same and haven't got the same tolerance. The original project, which created printed pieces, used a bunch of different screws and washers that we of course didn't have. So we replaced them with the same screws in every hole by burning the plastic and molding them manually. I don't recommend this part if you don't want your house to smell like burnt plastic for days, but we have to do what we have to do, right? Once we had it all built, we designed the base where everything will be located. For that, we used a piece of plywood, then drew where we had to cut and cut it. Of course, sanded the base to have a finished look and painted it in black to match the other pieces. After making some adjustments to the robot, we seem to have it done. So let's try all the models. We did some coding to test every part, like for the screen, making sure every servo could move without a lot of effort and compromising its nature. Also tested the bottom part, and when we have them all tested, we jump into the coding part. We had to take the creator's code and change the way you pass through the modes by adding all pins for the buttons and also changing the screen part, eliminating what was touchscreen related. For the different modes, it wasn't too difficult, but we had a bit of a problem with positions for the servos and finding where they were nice and smooth. But once we figured it out, we were ready to see the final result.